tomorrow. Girl Scouts builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place and offers unique opportunities that are safe, fun, and flexible to meet the needs of busy girls like me.
I am so pleased to be informing you that you have won the lottery in the Republic of Aspenistak.
What?
You won a great abundance and magnitude of money. All I need to transact this transaction is a small processing fee to be required. Simply cash this check, a portion of your winnings, and pay the fee. Then I will effect payment swiftly.
Whatever.
Scams like these don't work as well in person. That's why most of them are done online.
You're talking.
Welcome to this amazing BeLive marathon. Here we are today at 4 o'clock, and this is Wendy, this is Christina, this is Peter, my name is Barbara, and we are going to show you our little feature movie that we made during one of the classes. So after this, we'll just be open to you calling us. We'll comment on the contents of that movie.
Okay, great. Should we give like a summary of what the movie's about?
Yeah, why don't you tell?
Okay, great. Well, actually, Wendy is the writer of the film, which is entitled Buddha Head. And Wendy, why don't you tell them a little bit about that?
All right. I'm the screen writer for this little piece that we did. What happened is we're taking a class one day that about, what is the name of the class? Do you remember?
This was just feature filmmaking.
Feature filmmaking.
Narrative
okay.
filmmaking.
And the teacher wanted us to come up with a story that our classmates that we can vote for which story is the best that we can make this movie of.
Yes.
And then on that day, I was contemplating when I walk home, and then that day, trash day, and we're all like neighborhood people like gathering around the sidewalk, and we're talking and whatever. And then I saw this Buddha head, and then I saw Peter sitting here, and is my neighbor, and we have a little story. Then all of a sudden it hits me. This is a great story. So and I sort of just like remember all of what's happening, and the next thing I know is I present to the class about this little story.
I remember.
And then you all love it.
We all loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we love
across
this story
the board.
because we all have gone through times in which we had to go through our stuff and through our basements or our apartments or houses and make decisions what to keep and what to discard. And I found the story about this sculpture very compelling because many of us hesitate about throwing away certain things that really have certain intrinsic value, but we need an encouragement to keep those things. And if this encouragement doesn't happen, some of us get rid of very valuable things. And I thought that the fact that it's about a head, a story about a head, has so many meanings. It's such a metaphoric device because head represents the leadership, head represents the eyes, the ears, the thinking, the face. And I just instantly knew that this is a very wonderful story to make a movie about.
Cool.
And here we have Peter, who actually is the one who made that Buddha head.
I was in the process of making the head. The head was incomplete. And
Tell us
can
how...
you get my head on?
Yeah.
My head fits on the
You're there,
TV.
yeah.
You see my head.
Yeah.
How did you get the story? How did you get that idea
Well,
to create it?
I think the screenwriter took some artistic license with the story. What had happened is a number of years ago, my wife and I are members of the Greater Buddhist Community Cultural Center on Mass Ave. We're now moving to Concord Ave near the Belmont line. And we were teaching Sunday school to the kids at the center. And I thought it would be fun to do a paper mache Buddha's head. So I bought some chicken wire from the Inman Square hardware guy, the guy who's always smiling. And I started the thing up and then took the Buddha head with some flour, not whole wheat, unfortunately. I think it had been whole wheat, Marjorie would have liked it more, but it was just regular white flour. We made a big mess, and the parents at the Buddha Center decided that they didn't want their precious little children getting dirty. So I brought it home and stuck it in the basement, and that was maybe about 8 years ago. And I was under pressure from Marjorie, my wife, to clear things out of the basement, and it seemed like the Buddha's head was going to be a victim of that clear out. And I had some reservations because I always dreamed about finishing the Buddha's head before I died. And but anyway, she won, and I put it out on top of the trash barrel, very artistically, I may add, and then Wendy came along.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Yes.
We were talking trash.
Yeah, we were trash day talking along the sidewalk, and we have other two neighbors as well.
Yeah.
You know, it's too bad we couldn't find another two actress that played the role. We only have two. But on that day, we actually have four.
That's right.
Four neighbors, and with Peter, and then we all look at this and admiring it. You know.
Oh my God, that actually
I was.
That's exactly how it
is.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yes.
Based on a true story, and
the whole thing.
I was compelled by the story also because I've always tried to find a balance between spirituality and politics. And Buddha was a prince.
That's right.
He was a real prince. Mm-hmm. So for me also, the fact that that we are dealing with a head of a prince has so many meanings connected with how we understand politics and how we sometimes discard the head of a prince from our political life. Mm-hmm. And I just guided by very irrational motives. So I also like that aspect of that story, that it is about the head and the head of a prince. So some of you who know the Niccolo Machiavelli's book, The Prince, he writes about it from the context of Christianity, but there's something very universal in the way Buddha understood politics and relationship between politics and spirituality, and also his idea about compassion in politics, because as a prince he knew that sometimes princes don't want to deal with compassion in the realm that they rule. So I think that the fact that we come together in a situation when we want to keep that leader's head, that we want to continue with compassion. I thought it was just a beautiful emotional meaning in this story.
Well, for me, I felt like the person that wanted me to throw it away wasn't showing a lot of compassion. So I decided that I would practice non-attachment and let the Buddha's head go. Because to me at that time, because it isn't really finished, it reminded me more of the movie Zardos than the Buddha. But one day, maybe now the Buddha's head will be finished. I don't know. Perhaps there could be a campaign citywide.
Oh my God.
Not God, not God.
You said
oh
that
my
with
Buddha.
such a serious face. I don't okay.
But you know,
I think with that being said, maybe we should play the video.
Okay.
I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, we play the video and then we talk some more.
That
yeah,
sounds
and
good.
then we'll talk some more.
All right.
That's great. You knew it was good.
Qui décrète l'heure à laquelle on doit fermer les burettes. Vienne un jour enfin l'harmonie naturelle entre le tenancier et sa clientèle. Vienne un jour où l'homme n'aura plus besoin de loi pour plier les
Well, today's the day, I guess.
Yeah. Maybe we should start by looking for things we could throw away or give away. What about this? We're never gonna use this again. You think?
We can definitely get rid of that. I never liked that thing anyway. Oh, look here. Tony Robbins' personal power CDs.
That ship has sailed.
Yep. Giveaway pile. Let's let someone else have their shot at personal power.
I didn't know he had a fondue set.
What's a fondue set?
It's hard to explain. Giveaway pile.
Do you think we should throw him away?
We could certainly use the space for something else.
I wanted to make a Buddha head. I guess you never thought I did a good job at it.
It doesn't look like Buddha. Buddha's face has a compassionate look, and yours doesn't. I've told you that before.
I know, but should we throw it away?
It doesn't look like Buddha.
I like the nose. Don't you think that's a good nose?
Maybe. It's just not a Buddha's nose.
Yeah, I know, but should we throw it out? I'll let you decide. I'll do whatever you want.
No, I'm not going to make that decision. If you like it, keep it. It's been down here for 10 years. Unfinished. I just think it's time to use the space for something else.
You're right. I'll throw it out.
Okay by me.
Is this yours?
Yeah.
You make this?
Yes.
And you're throwing away? Oh, I can't believe it! You're throwing away your creative expression.
A great piece. Look at the nose. It's a beautiful nose. You can't throw it away. It's a work of art.
You like the nose? I thought I did a good job on the nose. I started it 10 years ago. I wanted to make a head of a Buddha.
Do you think it looks like a Buddha?
I have never seen a Buddha head, but it looks like it has a soul. It feels alive.
Really? You think so?
I do.
It was meant to be a Buddha head.
So what if it doesn't look like a Buddha head? It still is a great piece.
You all think I should keep it?
Yes.
I am going to keep it.
So here it is.
That was Buddha head.
And
On n'a pas besoin d'un
Play
État
again.
qui décrète.
I don't think they're ready for a second time. We have to turn it off.
Devienne un jour enfin l'arbre.
you can, yeah. So you see that every little story can be transformed into an artistic expression.
Oh yeah.
And you know, it's just so symbolic. So we just thought that by focusing on creating an imaginative film from this story, we also draw attention to the fact that every mundane situation around us can be transformed artistically.
Yeah, and
if we
also-
look at it with artistic intention.
Yeah, and also I like these pieces because I think it applies to our daily lives. So many things apply to our daily lives, which is idealism and then practicality. You know, this Buddha head, it's just like, you know, a painting or it's creativity. And you don't want to throw it away. And then for 10 years, what you put it in the basement, but what is the use from a practical point of view is really, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, I can see from a wife's point of view that, hey, you know, let's throw it away. Let's clear some space for something else.
Absolutely, if it's not being appreciated, then you know it kind of defeats the purpose of it being art and
Yeah, even
expressive.
if it's being appreciated, you know, for 10 years, it's being there. I mean, you know, at what time you want to throw it away?
Yeah.
You know, let's ask
Yeah, let's
Peter.
ask a direct question.
I remember the night when I put it out, and the fact that there were four neighbors.
4 neighbors, yes.
And I think that it had its great showing. That was the point at which the work of art was shown.
Yes.
And I was
Everybody
obviously
loves it.
I was amused and touched that people said they liked it. I thought they were humouring me, trying to make me feel good. But it was funny because when you'd finished saying, "Oh, why are you throwing that away?" Marjorie came along and was mortified that I was considering taking it back, and as I think you by that time decided you had this idea for using it for this project, and you were going to take it. But then she was saying, we really have to get rid of junk. You know, we accumulate too much stuff.
Right.
And then she opened up the recycling, and I'd actually, while she'd been out that afternoon, I dumped a lot of her stuff in the trash, and I thought she'd go out. And she was about to protest that I'd thrown this stuff out, and she had to stop herself. But I think what the film talks to as well, apart from artistic expression, which is, I think in this case, questionable, is the strong sense of community that we're lucky to have here in Cambridge. We live on a very diverse street.
I know.
People from all walks of life, and the fact that we just meet, and these not about Buddha's heads, but we often have conversations in the street. If we pass people, we'll stand and talk. I think it was last night or the night before last that we were coming home with the dogs and we bumped into a neighbour, and I had to go, and I had this cold that everybody's been getting, and so I wanted to go in, and an hour later Marjorie came in. She'd been chatting to the neighbour about, heaven knows what, for an hour. So I think that film talks to that as well, is that strong sense of community and the value of having great streets for people to live in. And so...
Yeah.
But we also have now a national discussion. It's a coincidence, but an interesting coincidence that now we have the shutdown in the government, right? And after making Buddha Head, my first response is, don't throw it away. Just keep it, And so this whole idea to have an imaginative view on decision making concerning what we should keep and what we should discard, what is valuable and what is even priceless, because at this point the Buddha Head sculpture became priceless to me, because it symbolizes so many wonderful things. So I think that the decision in making about what is valuable in our houses, in our lives, it's not a simple thing. That it requires sometimes neighbors giving encouragement and interacting with the owner of certain valuable things. Sometimes it also teaches us that as owners of certain valuable things, we sometimes do not understand how valuable those things are. That ownership doesn't mean recognition of the true value of something. So we need that community interaction and communication to see that.
Good. Oh yeah. Let me ask you one question, Peter. When are you going to throw away the Buddha head?
Oh my gosh.
Well, when I get it back. Well, I'm actually waiting for the new.
Peter,
I'm waiting for the Fog Art Museum to open. They've been taking a long time renovating and extending the building, but when it's open, I'll take it down to see if they're willing to take it, unless you want to buy it from me.
We'll see, because
I don't know. It's become immortal now.
Exactly. And what is interesting in this whole story is that there is a certain immortality of the presence of Buddha as prince in a lot of communities in Asia, and it's something that cannot be just easily dismissed, that out of all possible head sculptures we focused around the sculpture of the prince from Nepal. So I think that it may open up our thinking nationally and even internationally about the meaning of head heritage, that maybe those things are not something that we can easily dismiss as irrelevant, that we can always create those new heads to guide us, but there is this power in some long-standing heritage values that we should pay attention to.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I would also say that no matter how feeble one's attempt might be to do something creative, it's really important to have a go. And I appreciated the fact that the community was supportive, and I think that's really important when people are engaged in the creative process, that they get support that is positive, not necessarily always negative.
On my show Happiness in the City, I've been for many months now talking about universal law and universal energy, and this is almost like a tremendous example of how universal law is bringing us so much good fortune and good luck, because universal law is higher than national laws or civil laws. It concerns the entire universe and the interactions within universal events and life. And I think that is one of the examples that universal law started aligning itself in a way that brought us together in this wonderful film project. And even today, we end up having the TV show on that topic. And I think that this is something that we should take seriously, that a lot of fortune is in how we harmonize and appreciate the power of universal law that spans past, present, and future. So it has a certain intelligence within itself that is worthwhile noting too as valid and valuable, not to be thrown away.
So you decided to change the story a little bit, right? You had my wife, Christina, who was much more compassionate, I thought, and caring than the person during the.
You be careful.
She's not. I'm sure she's not watching the show.
Yeah.
So
I think she's outside watching.
So why? What made you change it to be less confrontational?
You know, Peter, that's not what I feel. Even though you said it, you probably in it, you don't know. That's how I really perceive on that day.
Oh, you did.
That's really how I perceive.
Okay.
And I don't want it to be confrontational because I don't sense that confrontational. All I sense is the practicality of being sometimes a woman, housewife, mother. We were very practical. If we were allowed every little creation of our children in the basement, then the basement would explode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now we got grandchildren, we gotta treasure all the little things that they made in the kindergarten to college.
I'm a very messy child.
We have to decide to throw away at some point in time and something, and I don't know the answer. When do we gonna throw away things?
Well, I thought you handled the situation